Greetings, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Liberty Pole Radio. I am your host, the Illustrious Narrator, and let's get to today's topics. President Trump has decided to call for a ceasefire in his Epstein war against Iran. He claimed for the 100th time by now that Iran is begging him to go back to negotiating a peace treaty. Back on June 14th, on his birthday, his staff rushed out a worthless MOU, a memo of understanding, claiming it was a peace treaty. However, the MOU was nothing more than a worthless interoffice note that has no validation, and the war resumes. This is a pattern with El Presidente. He likes to call ceasefires over the weekend to continue his manipulation of the stock market. Wall Street kisses the orange clown's ass, while many of the traders, and I kid you not, have shrines to the kid toucher on their desk, while they buy on margins and have highly overvalued the stock market. At the time of this writing, the United States oil reserves are less than half filled, and when that runs out, oh boy, it'll cause chaos out in the streets. Word has it now that the low stockpiles of munitions is one of the reasons for the Taco Treaty. Another is that his handlers in Russia, Saudi Arabia, and China want this dotard to quit this insane war. China and Russia have oil deals with Iran, and the more Trump keeps bombing them with the assistance of Israel, the world's finances and oil dependency will plunge into a global market crash. When will his cult of MAGA morons realize the emperor has no clothes? He has made billions of dollars off these rubes and complicit right-wing politicians who are pillaging their own country just to make a few bucks and push it towards a Christo-fascist theocracy culled by the Epstein class. It's part of Project 2025's goal to make this country have a conservative Protestant official religion with an American Jesus as a savior. And I wish I was kidding. And over the weekend, there was a right-wing shooter in Twin Falls, Idaho. A community college dropout named Chad Williams attacked an In-N-Out burger and shot several people, and including a Tesla and the two occupants inside of it. He later shot and wounded 7 other people before he killed himself. A couple of bystanders fired back at the gunman when he raided the restaurant. Williams was a former student at the College of Southern Idaho who was MAGA aligned, so we won't be hearing any more about this story anytime soon due to his politics. But the FBI will probably link him to a trans woman like they did with the killer of Charlie Kirk and make that the focus of the murderer. More likely, they'll just blame it on the Democrats, Joe Biden, and Antifa. Now that we found out that Chad was a devoted MAGite, we'll never hear about this loser again, except but for the 2 yahoos who pulled out their guns to shoot at this dead idiot. We'll be right back.
It's nice to live in an easy way.
Yes, it is now.
Without any cares from day to day. Slow down the time.
Slow down the time.
Slow down the moment.
Mr. Big.
Taste Mr. Pibb. Smooth and easy. Mr. Pibb. It's nice to have your clouds erased. So just slow down to its easy taste. Slow down the time. Slow down the moments. Taste Mr. Pibb. It goes down good. Mr. Pibb. It goes down good. Ooh, try Mr. Pibb, yeah.
I just had to take a little Mr. Pibb break. So let's get back to the show. I'm going to go off topic for a second here. I'm just glad that they brought back Mr. Pibb. But my favorite is Mr. Pibb Zero. Just good stuff. It's been a while since I've seen Mr. Pibb, but I'm glad he's back. And tastes better than last time when he was known as Pibb Extra. Oh well. Now let's get back to the show. Jeannie Pirro is on the hot seat. One of Trump's attack dogs and former Fox News personality, Judge Jeannie Pirro, is now on the hot seat due to her refusal to prosecute an innocent man. The box wine wino may be a loon, but she's a smart cookie who doesn't want to get disbarred, has ruffled the feathers of the orange clown over the weekend. Trump has threatened the attorney through a Truth Social post and said that she folded like an umbrella when they dismissed the felony against the former Olympian canoeist David Hearn. The case had no merit, so Pirro had to drop the charges. But this is not to please Trump, who was looking for a scapegoat for his failed reflecting pool fiasco. Pirro is now on borrowed time before she is replaced by another ass-kisser who will be more than happy to lock up an innocent man just to make their master happy. As for Jeannie Pirro, she should know better than to be associated with this orange clown, but when you lie with dogs, you'll wake up with fleas, so nobody should feel sorry for the great bluffing judge. And have you noticed? The president has a new toupee. Trump has been holding rallies around the country again, and instead of actually running the country. From all accounts, it looks like his sycophant Stephen Miller has been using El Presidente as his own personal Muppet. The sweaty and increasingly senile dotard-in-chief has been bragging about the Strait of Hormuz is now owned by the United States, and any day now, Iran will be crawling on their hands and knees, begging to sign that peace treaty, courtesy of the MOU. I guess that document was about as worthless as a used Kleenex. Trump's new hairpiece looks about as ridiculous as the claim that he's 6'4" and 215 pounds with like 2% body fat. And now about the tariff refunds. The White House announced that they had to issue over $100 billion in refunds for the illegal tariffs that they placed on imported goods. Secretary of the Treasury whined about having to refund that money, and that money was earmarked to be used to balance the budget. Are you kidding me? The orange clown has added trillions of dollars of the debt to the national budget while cutting the taxes for the billionaires and members of the Epstein class, while the rest of America is suffering for their stupidity. The Epstein war in the Middle East, cutting off the IRS at the knees for going after the rich tax evaders, and the billions of dollars El Presidente and his family of fools have made while in office is obscene. He even had a bank close all of his accounts for his Trump organization because of the fraud, and nobody in the media or the politicians in Capitol Hill haven't said a single word about it. Ridiculous. And now, a public service announcement.
Right now, there are several thousand trees dying in forest fires. We don't know how you feel about this, but we know how the trees feel. Please be careful. Only you can prevent forest fires.
A public service on behalf of the Forest Service, State Foresters, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Liberty Pole Radio. Texas war on porn gets a man arrested. A Houston man who was angry about the state government of Texas for blocking people from watching adult content was arrested for leaving a profanity-filled voicemail for the governor. Joseph Roy Osment, 35, is facing a third-degree felony for a terroristic threat against a public servant because of a phone call he made on July 25th, just after 1:30 p.m. He said, and I quote, "I don't know which one of you sons of bitches passed this mother effing bill to get this damn shit blocking my mother effing anime, but you whole ass mother effers need to unpass this shit," Osmond said, according to the affidavit. I'm gonna effing stab every goddamn one of you bitches. Unlock my effing anime. This comes right after the state has banned THC, despite people wanting to have recreational marijuana. I watched a press conference with these backward-thinking yokels who sounded like a bad film strip from the 50s. They talk about the evils of marijuana and how it's dangerous and more deadly than old-school alcohol. Please. And now, MAGAs, instead of picking on millennials, are now going after Gen-Zers, telling them to pull themselves up by the bootstraps. MAGA politicians and members of the Epstein class are going around telling Gen-Zers to quit with expensive meals and just eat top ramen. The one-eyed politician who didn't lick Trump's boots hard enough, Dan Crenshaw, went to social media to complain about the 20-somethings and how they spend $20 for a burrito and complain about the cost of living. He said that they need to do what he did when they were his age and just eat top ramen. Dude, This crybaby soiled his diapers when Pete Davidson jokingly made a humorous observation about him when he compared Crenshaw to a villain in a porn film. I thought the MAGA crowd cared about the First Amendment and wanted comedy to be unwoke. Well, you got less than 150 days in office before you crawl back to that hole where you came from. And you could go brag to your buddies how you didn't lose your eye in an inner office paperclip fight when you were in the Middle East. And another MAGA, Kevin O'Leary, had to throw his 2 cents in as well when he whined about how young people want to stay poor because they spend their money on extravagances like $28 lunches. Not the fact that his generation killed production and industry in this country and outsourced all the good paying jobs just so these fat cats can add more cash to their pile. And I really, really, really hate these bootstrappers. They climbed the ladder of success and pulled it up while the rest of us fight over their scraps. And O'Leary has the scruples of the mayor of Monopoly. This shady ass jackass can get bent. And now, a radio spot from one of my favorite movies.
Marlon Brando is William Walker in Burn. He was a military genius who sold his talent to the highest bidder. When he did his job successfully, he collected a fortune. When he made a mistake, he put it to the torch. Marlon Brando, Evaristo Marquez, Burn. In color from United Artists. Rated GP, all ages, parental guidance.
You are listening to Liberty Pole Radio. An appeals court today ruled that Trump cannot use taxpayer money to build his $600 million White House ballroom project. The judge cited that he lacks congressional approval. The Trump administration has argued the ballroom would enhance its security and host large events, claiming that it's privately funded. The president called this ruling politically motivated any plans to appeal to the Supreme Court. Well, since he bought 6 of the judges, I'm pretty sure it's going to move into his favor, and this monstrosity will continue to be built, and eventually it'll become his little bunker, just like his idol, the Fuhrer. And now we have news about Mitch McConnell. According to NBC News, Senator Mitch McConnell, Republican from Kentucky, said that he has been discharged from a rehabilitation center where he was recovering from a fall he suffered in mid-June. Earlier today, I was discharged from the rehabilitation center to continue my recovery at home. Elaine and I are grateful for the many well wishes and support from friends, colleagues, and Kentuckians, and for the attentive care I received from excellent doctors, nurses, therapists, and hospital staff, McConnell reportedly said in a statement. McConnell, 84, said he would continue to work from home and did not provide a timeline for his return to the Senate, which is expected to begin a 5-week recess in the coming days. I call this bull hockey. Dude's either dead or in a coma, and they're just keeping him on ice. That's all you need to know. That wraps up another episode of Liberty Pole Radio. I hope you enjoyed it. Cheerio.